everyone, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas Day 8. So I have that light paper out, the Christmas light paper out and the green paper, and spoiler alert, neither one of them get used. I do go ahead and use that embossing folder that is like a snow globe, and I do it in all those different patterns. And I'm just going to cut an X because I'm going to cut the center out. So I just take my X-Acto knife and just lightly cut an X to bust through the paper. And then I'm going to take and fussy cut the inside of the circle out because I am going to make a mixed media background. And I really thought this was a cute idea. It wasn't my original plan, but then when I started doing this, I was like, oh, I'm going to cut these out, and yes. So there's my white cardstock. I have used gesso. I'm going to show you right there. And I'm going to pull out these watercolor markers in several different colors, and I do not leave all of the mixed media process in because it started looking messy and I started getting frustrated, and I just kept going with it, and it turned out okay, but the more I worked on it, the worse I think it got. So I was going to draw a circle, but then I was like, okay, not going to do that. Basically, I go ahead and take my water bottle and my paintbrush and stamp block, and I'm going to squeeze this down. Now, I thought this was a pale pink, and it's like a melon color, so that kind of works out pretty well. And I do use some red, which then just turns out to be like a crime scene on the page there, and I had to really add some more green and stuff because it looked like I cut myself, and it was bad. It was bad. So I just use the stamp block and squish it around. I add lots and lots of water, and I let it dry. I use my heat tool. I do a lot of fun things here. So my basic idea there is now I'm adding some a Wink of Stella green shimmer brush, and I basically got a lot on there, and you can see, whew, yeah, it was crazy. So I just did it kind of for the shimmer, because pretty much took the rest of the bit off because of the gesso. So I do go ahead and grab some red, a shimmer brush from Close to My Heart, and this is where it looks like it looks like a crime scene. Like, how horrible is that? So I just take and I splatter some green. It's the evergreen, I believe, or no, I lied. It's the julep, and I also take the green apple and the evergreen, and I start doing lots and lots of splatters. And I like the way it's like wicking, if that makes when it hits the water. So I do come back and I sop this up quite a couple times. I'm just really getting the splatters on there. I'm really trying to make it not look like a crime scene. And then I just turned the camera off and just kept going with it. So I did go ahead and back each one of those cute little snow globes in that red foil paper. And then I'm going to treat each one like a little scene, and I'm going to decorate each one. And so this one right here, we are going to use the cute little felt snowman. I put a tree on there, this wood veneer candy cane. I'm also going to get it on there. And I'm really just going to, make little bitty snow globes. However, I don't stay inside the snow globe, which was my original intent. But the more I started doing this, I'm like, nah, we're just going to go for it. I was already very upset with the background. Like, it looked horrible, and I was letting it dry. And you'll see in a minute when I bring it back on, it's not that bad, but I'm still practicing. And I guess that's why I don't do mixed media backgrounds as much as I should, because I get frustrated. So I'm going to take this cute little felt gingerbread man, and I am just adding just a tad bit of the liquid glue to them as well, just to make sure that they are stuck, because these are from the dollar store and not real sure how well that adhesive's going to hold. I do put a little snowman hat on him because I thought that was cute. And then I'm going to grab these ornaments, and I'm just this is everything that I pulled from my stash kit. I'm going to put a couple ornaments down on this, and then I am going to bring in my brad setter and poke some holes there, and then I'm going to run some linen twine through it just to make it look like that they are hooked on the back, if that makes any sense, because I felt like they were a little naked right there. And it does take me a little bit. I futz with it for quite some time, and it's before I can get it. And I just pull it through, and I'm going to leave that hang like that. And I am going to like that is what it's going to end up looking like they're hooked onto the snow globe. End up having to grab my pokey tool to pokey tool through it. My Tim Holtz, yeah, that little guy right there. Because I just could not get it through that one. So I'm going to go ahead and flip them over. And all I do is just take some washi and I just tape the thread, the linen thread down. And that is just my washi that I got in some sort of kit. And it's not my jam, so I use it for things like this. So I'm liking the way that one looks. I'm going to grab just a couple more things to put on there. See, I'm thinking like, what else do I want? So I'm going to grab this cute little heart, and it's supposed to be a washi heart, but it didn't come off the backing, so we're just going to use some liquid glue and stick it right in there. I'm going to add another one of those little gold stars, and I'm going to call him done for a minute. I'm going to grab the next one. I'm going to put this very, very big I don't think the ornament goes on this one. I actually take him off and I grab the tree. I was going to say that's not what I remember. So I take the green glittered chipboard piece. I pull the backing off of those and I add some glue, and I'm going to just set that right down in there. And as you've seen on the side, I had lined up the ornaments, but those ornaments, they're not going to get any kind of string. I just grabbed that cute little glitter gold star, set that on the page as well. I am going to actually poke a hole. I don't even use my brad setter. I'm just going to do this little elf hat, and we're just going to get that guy done. I'm going to pull the next one in. This is the one that I'm going to go ahead and put this very, very, very big felt Christmas lights. And I'm going to stick the fa la la in there just like that. So we're going to make this one way bigger. And as I flip it over, yep, that guy falls off. So now that it's soaked in a little bit, I go ahead and add a little bit more glue, and I'm going to set him to the side and work on the next one because I want to make sure that that glue stuck. So I do kind of work back and forth between them. Put a little gingerbread man up there. I'm going to go ahead and use this cute little mason jar type thing with the deer in it. We're going to stick that right in the center, and then I'm going to build up around that. I take that cute little enamel flare. I'm going to go ahead and build a little cluster of snowmen. We're going to stick those on there as well. Oh, and I grabbed that little tag. So it was going back and forth between them. I like the little green Christmas tree in the circle. And I'm throwing away all the trash from everything. I want to make sure that my little gingerbread guy stays down. I'm going to go ahead and layer up a couple cupcakes as well. You know, I just used a whole bunch of random stuff. I think there was one thing out of everything that I grabbed. That little Noel ornament does not get used. Because mostly when I see Noel, I think of my sister, and that's a long story for another time. Those little pom-poms, I line them up as well. And I'm like, oh, we need one more little snowman. And now the picture that I'm using, that I'm going to be using, is my son in front of our Christmas tree in 2019 holding his dog Gizzy. So I just put a little paw prints on there as well. I'm going to go ahead and just adhere that down because there is not a lot of adhesive holding fa la 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 on there. And I do not realize that I'm off screen, but I'm just adding a couple little things and just to kind of finish them up. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bird right here on the tree as well. I was just making them as full as I can because that is pretty much the only design and embellishment that I'm going to do to the layout. And so I'm just making sure that everything is going to have a place. I do get these cute little glitter foam presents on there. And I'm going to stick another brad. I'm going to use 3 brads. This is a little holly leaf brad. And then I'm going to come in right here on the fa la la, and I'm going to plug up that hole with a brad. I'm going to take the picture and back it in the same paper that I backed all of the snow globes in. And just, you know, I'm just going to use my scissors and cut around it. Move those to the side. And there's that fascinating background. I actually even took white nail polish and threw it on there to get the white dots. So it doesn't look so bad once it gets covered up, but it looks, it's a mess. So if you guys know what I did wrong or you have any tips, please leave them below. Also, before I forget, do not forget to go and check out the links to the other ladies participating in this hop. I will have them all linked down below. Give them some love and some likes and all kinds of comments for them as well, because they have inspired me on so many other projects that I am just ecstatic that they asked me to join. Thank you to Ronnie. Shout out to Ronnie Sue Scrapper. She's the one that asked me if I wanted to play along. And of course I wanted to play along. I love playing along. So on these things, because there's so much gesso and random mixed media on there, I do take one strip of adhesive and then I really go ahead and load it up with liquid glue just so that it will stay. And that is just my art glitter glue in my fine liner bottle. And see, it actually it turns out really cute. I do end up liking the layout. It was just that background, man. I literally almost tossed it, and then I was like, no, I don't know what I could have done differently. But most of it I covered up, so I mean, it was what was in my head. It's just not how it was supposed to turn out. It was supposed to be like super cool, and it was not. Next time, don't mix red and green. That's all I can say. I've learned my lesson. There's not going to be too much more that I'm going to do to the layout. I do come in and pop some enamel dots around and add a title. Oh, and I also take my Distress ink, and the edges were looking just a little bland with everything else going on. So I just go ahead and run a red strip of ink along all four edges. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos from me, click that subscribe button. Again, do not forget to go check out the other three ladies playing along. Right here, I am going to go ahead and add my title, just with this letter book, and it's going to say, "Oh, Christmas" in red, and then I'm going to put "tree" in green. Yeah, I'm original. Woo! Anyway, I use my X-Acto knife just to pick the letters up because I cannot pick those things up. So I just pick them up, try not to cut myself. And it's not all that straight, but you know what? The whole layout was kind of a disaster, and I think I pulled it together in the end. I think it looks really, really good, and I actually do like it, and it may make it to my wall for, I display 8 layouts every month. I change it at the beginning of every month, and I pull 8 of my favorite layouts that I created. So like we're in December now, so I have layouts that I created in November up there. So every month I just switch them out. So this one actually may make it to the wall. I don't know. We'll see. I got so many other ones. Oh, 'tis the season, man. All right, I'm just going to sprinkle some red pearls, and then like I said, after that it'll be done. So don't forget to come join us tomorrow. See you guys next time. Bye.